Good evening. My name is Omar Maldonado. I'm here with video number 4 for inquiry and analysis. And today's topic was on fallacies. I guess the question would be asked is, why is it important for us to know fallacies and to understand them? I believe that the reason that we need to know what a fallacy is and be able to recognize them when we come across them in an argument is so that we can better understand how to counter them. And not so much in a way that we put the person down or make them feel bad for what they've said, but in order so that we ourselves are not taken up on in them, so that we don't make ourselves gullible as opposed to those things that happen around us. And some of the fallacies that they spoke about and they talked about, just to name a few, are such as ad hominem, which is insulting a person instead of arguing the case at hand. So instead, it could be like an example. Let me think of an example. You could be calling someone dumb and explaining to them, "Oh, you're stupid, so you don't understand fully why this is going on," or "What you're saying is ridiculous. I'm the teacher. You're trying to make yourself sound better." And a lot of times in arguments when that happens is that first the person might be losing the argument, and so they start using these type of fallacies in order to point out flaws and why the other person could be wrong, when in reality the other person is right, and they're just trying to make themselves out to look better. Another fallacy that they use is people appeal to emotion. They use emotion, whether fear, pity, desire, or popularity, to persuade. So they'll play on people's beliefs. If someone is talking to a mother, they'll play on her feelings for her children in order to get them to consent or to agree to whatever it is they're saying. If it's a teacher, that they'll use something for their students to better help their students in order to convince them to side with them. I can actually say that in a lot of conversations I've had thinking back on it, I've done the same thing. I've used several different fallacies in order to bring others into my way of thinking. Others will use equivocation. So they'll say, well, such and such is, for example, the example that they gave here in this presentation is, rare steak is flavorful, tarantula steak is rare, therefore tarantula steak is flavorful. So they're comparing two different things and saying, well, if this one is such, then this one is such as well, which in a lot of cases isn't correct, isn't what we need to be doing, or isn't how things should be viewed. A lot of people, I was watching not a documentary, but an interview in which a person was trying to convince someone else, "Oh, this is my way of thinking, this is how things should be done." And they used a lot of fallacies that were mentioned today in order to appeal their point, but in reality all they were doing is just trying to persuade people to their side of thinking or their way of thinking without actually addressing the point. Fallacies are very tricky because we could be caught up in the moment and we could go along with what they're saying, we could agree with everything that's going on, but it's not necessarily all true. By doing so, we allow ourselves to be taken up by what other people say instead of stopping and thinking for ourselves, analyzing the situation, and being able to come up with our own answers. It's more go with the flow type of feeling than just instead of thinking it through. And I'm not gonna lie, most of the time that's easier to just go with the flow instead of trying to think, pause and think of what is actually going on. But in order to be good, we need to be able to see those things. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. See ya.